Hi, this is Yadi Caro, and welcome to another episode of the Hardcore Soft Skills Podcast. In each episode, I address a different skill, a different essential skill, so you can master it. So at the end of the episode, you get to take away key advice that you can apply for yourself and your team. And in these daily episodes, or semi daily episodes, I've been focusing on the content of my book, Hardcore Soft Skills, A Guide to Work with Humans, where I talk about over 25 plus skills, and I divide them in a framework, which is a framework I use when I go to launch teams, relaunch teams, or integrate myself into new teams, which is the developing the connecting skills, the skills for connection, skills for communication, collaboration and creation, and correction. So this week we are focusing on those skills necessary for collaboration and creation. Today I'm going to talk about a key skill that we need, especially if we manage or lead a team, which is prioritization. A lot of times we find ourselves with multiple activities, trying to do it all, and it's because we may not necessarily have a good framework for prioritization. So, the first advice that I need to give you is to ensure that you have documented and identified and talked with your team and organization about what is it going to be your prioritization framework. What is it that you're going to use to define priorities? Is it first come, first serve? Is it items that are of significant value to the customer? Is it part of different projects? So at least have some general framework so you do not feel that you're necessarily like putting out fires every day. And as long as the whole team understands what the prioritization criteria is, you already have a win there because the team will be able to themselves go and identify which activity to focus on without having to require your input as a manager for what to prioritize. So, another key advice that I'm going to give you is to use this exercise, which is the reverse prioritization. This is a great exercise to help visualize alternative scenarios, and I talk about it in my book. So, first thing is make a list of the major initiative or task that your team has. Make a full list, do not leave anything out, and start prioritizing them from those you consider that are low priority. Once you establish that framework, you define, okay, what are the low priority items, and start putting them on a list from low priority to higher priority. Now, imagine this scenario and imagine if your team and yourself decided to focus on the low priority items first. Imagine that. What will happen? What would be delayed of those higher priority items on the bottom? Imagine the scenarios and ask yourself what is affected, what big impact does it have. So once you discuss about it with your team, it helps you give a framework to establish. And once you decide that with your team, it helps you get a better idea and more focus to help your team focus specifically on those items that are higher priority because you already know what scenario, what could happen if you just focus on the shiny objects that come that are not high priority. Do this exercise and let me know how it goes. Go to my website, hardcoresoftskillspodcast.com, and contact me to because I want to know more about how it went with you and other feedback that you have or what you use in terms of prioritization. Also, in my website, you will find resources, courses, workshops. So I look forward to hear from you. Thank you again for listening.